Okay, today I'm going to do a video on how to remove the disassembly scratch, also known as the idiot scratch, off of a 1911. This is a very common scratch and it's not hard to put on because a lot of times when you go to reassemble your 1911, the takedown pin, it can be stiff to put in, and a lot of times it'll slide and scratch the frame. Luckily, on a stainless gun, it's not too difficult to remove. So, of course, once you've taken apart the gun, because that makes it easier to access it, what you're going to want to do is get somewhere between, I've seen 600, 500, I'm using 800 grit. I've seen people go as far as to use 2000 grit, but for the Colt I'm going to use 800. And what you want to do is you want to take a small piece of it. With this, less is more, because you're not going to get an exact factory brushing, because obviously, you know, you're using sandpaper to do this. So the smaller of an area you do, the less it's going to show. So what you're going to want to do is cut a small piece out. I've taken a small little metal file to use to be able to use just the edge. And you're going to want to use oil on this because it'll help from keeping new scratches from any metal filings. So you're going to want to oil it. And what you're going to want to do is, the trick to this is, see how the grain is going lengthwise? That's the only way you're going to want to sand. You don't want to sand up and down or in circles, because that will create a new pattern, and you want to keep the existing brushing on the firearm. So once again, less is more. So what you're going to want to do is very small strokes, light and in the same direction. So you're just going to want to go and slowly, only the length of the scratch. You don't have to go all the way up and down, and just slowly run across it, and you see it is actually removing material a little bit. And as you can see, I've already removed most of the scratch, so you can't really tell, but there is a little bit left along there, and if you keep going along, it will slowly buff the scratch out. Key to this is taking your time. You don't want to rush it, because rushing it, you can end up putting new scratches into the firearm. And once you're done with that, just taking a cloth or something, wiping it all down, you know, checking your work. As you can see there's really no way to remove it in the in that, but you only see it at light. But you can see where it was, and then in the stainless it is now completely gone. But that's how you remove. That is the simplest way to remove the disassembly scratch from a stainless 1911.